This phrase has the capacity to change your life in every facet, aspect, and dimension. And the simplicity of it might shock you, but the ease of it might also challenge you. And this is a phrase, actually, I learned years ago being introduced to Louise Hay. She's one of the most amazing love ambassadors on the planet, or, she's in another dimension now, but she's still with us. Her work is cellular level transformative, and I've had the pleasure and privilege to not only witness the shifts and changes in my own self and career, but when I work with clients. And this phrase is the thing that I would say triggers the most, challenges the most, opens the most, uplifts the most, transforms the most, heals the most, causes the most resistance, the most shutdown, the most pushback, the most againstness. I've seen clients absolutely refuse to say it. I've seen them being so deeply challenged and shut down when trying to say it. I've seen them freeze. I've seen them cry. I've seen them shake. I've seen them just open up to life. I've seen their world crack open. I've seen their hearts expand. I've seen miracles occur and show up in their reality by implementing this. And I'm going to share it with you now, and I'm so excited. And you might think like, wait, what, Sera? That's it? Oh baby, there is so much more to this than you might anticipate. So let's just start by tapping on our chest here. Take a deep breath in, let it out with a sigh. And this is peppered all throughout a tapping sequence. In fact, it's the phrase we come back to the most, because it's necessary and vital for every step of the process. And the phrase is, I love and accept myself exactly as I am. Oh yes. Oh yes. This continues to reverberate into every corner of my life and experience, and that of my clients' lives, because what is love? Love bonds. Love is the healing solvent of the cosmos. Everything can essentially be distilled down to love and fear. You're either operating out of love or you're operating out of fear. Love is the force that heals, that transforms, that elevates, that expands, that amplifies, that magnetizes, that gives birth to world. And there's a purpose to the fear, right? I'm not necessarily saying fear is bad. Fear is here to offer us intelligence. It's here to offer us awareness. It holds wisdom in its essence. And I do believe that even the most negative forces inside of us or around us in our lives are positive, loving forces disguised as negative or density to awaken something inside of us. And coming from the actor's perspective, right? I remember in theater school, I have a few memories, but I remember in theater school, my teachers always saying that even in the darkest, densest, most negative roles, you have to come from a point of positivity. Why? Because you're open. When you come from a place of negativity, you're shut down. You cannot at all connect with an audience, with a character, with energy, with atmosphere, with emotion, with yourself, with your instrument, with the muse, with the divine. You're just shut down to life. And unfortunately, so many of us in the world are in this form of shutdown. And that goes back all the way to the nervous system. And that goes back even to past lives and ancestral imprints, and often has a lot to do with the baggage we came to the planet with, that our soul's here to transmute and alchemize and transform, and essentially to turn into our power and our gifts that we're here to transmit to humanity. So this phrase has the capacity to radically awaken and transform every element of your life. I mean, I encourage you to try it now, to go to the mirror, tap on your chest. When we do this, we're telling the fear center of our brain, the amygdala, that everything is fine, we're safe. Safety is a huge component to healing that I don't think enough people talk about. Safety externally and internally, but I believe that the internal safety is so much more important, because the external is a reflection of the internal. But safety, not only in healing past pain, but co-creating our dreams and visions and manifestations, it's essential, because the nervous system, the subconscious, their primary goal is to keep us safe. And what's unfamiliar or foreign is like an alert to our whole physical, mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual system. So when we begin to normalize this, and that's why tapping is so powerful, because the actual process of hitting these points of breathing, of getting into our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest, getting into a ventral vagal state where we're open and receptive to life. That's where we want to socialize and connect and have fun. This is like our most powerful state to manifest from. So when we incorporate the somatic process of tapping and breathing, we're accessing the subconscious, we're going into our neural networks or neural pathways, unfiring, unwiring critical systems of not believing in ourselves, of doubting ourselves, of shaming ourselves, of feeling guilty, of all these things. And we're refiring and rewiring, I love and accept and approve of myself exactly as I am. Exactly as I am. And that means every point of your process, every point of your evolution, it's not about just getting to the destination, it's about loving yourself every step of the way. That's the point. That's always been the game. And what's so amazing is that when you begin this, and I'm not talking about like superficial or vapid sense of egocentricity, or I'm not just even talking about like bubble baths and spa days in terms of self-love. Of course, those things are very fun and important and are gifts to ourselves, and we're here to experience everything in this human experience that we want. You know, if the desire's in you, it's for you. It's for you. It's like coded into you, and that means you also have the codes inside of you and the keys to activate it. You just have to awaken a different part of yourself, turn on different resources, like we say in the actor's work, turn on different resources to access different parts of you, different dimensions in you and around you. But I'm talking about your radical self-concept. I'm talking about the deep, unwavering, unshakable self-love, self-worth, self-respect, self-value, self-celebration, self-recognition, self-reverence. We've most likely never been taught how to do this. And I've had my own journey with it, and I keep going back to it. Every layer I get to, every new dimension of success, every new degree of openness and awakening to life, this is the core. This is the root. It's what we think we deserve. The universe wants to give us everything all the time. We just have these barriers and walls and limiting or competing belief systems that say, no, I can't, I shouldn't, I don't deserve it, I'm not worthy of it, it's not enough, I have to do this first to then receive. It can't just happen. It can't just happen out of thin air. It absolutely can happen. It can. But is your vessel able to hold this caliber of energy, or will it short circuit? Or will it cause a flash of light and then cause you to collapse? We're not here to collapse. We're here to build sustainable success that's rooted and planted and embedded in the earth, in our nervous system, in our subconscious, in our somatic body, so we can grow up and extend and expand beyond our wildest dreams. And we think we need to go out here to do this, but the work is in here. It's in the heart. I cannot tell you what miracles unfold in my life and my clients' lives when this is our primary focus. This is everything. It's the medicine. It's the marvel. It's the magic. It's so vital. I remember another time in theater school when we were learning the work of Jacques Lecoq. It's like a lot of physical comedy, clownery, mask work. It's really, really exciting and really fun, really important to the actor's process. And I was having a moment of complete shutdown, like absolute complete shutdown. Out of nowhere, it felt like my inner critic just went fucking crazy. And I remember, I didn't have the awareness back then, but I remember literally my whole system collapsing, my whole system freezing. I mean, it was a functional freeze because I still got up to perform. And the more I would see, and the funny part is like, that comes very natural to me. The comedy, the physical expression, the animation, like even mime work, right? Also Lecoq. And it was wild, and I would see my classmates thriving, and that would make me shut down more. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I really, really had a breakdown around this. It was my second year, the beginning of the second year. And of course, I didn't have the awareness of tapping and all these new amazing awarenesses I have now that not only influence and expand my artistic work, but also just my personal life, right? Like, it's a gift to our artists. This is the best gift you can give to your artist and yourself, is loving yourself, because then you get you out of the way, and then you're here to do the work. You're not questioning, am I capable? Am I worthy? Am I enough? Blah, blah, blah. No, you know that from a deep, resourced, empowered state, a calm, knowing, a coherent state, versus, oh my God, are they gonna like me? This desperate energy, is it enough? Am I doing enough? Like, I remember our teachers always saying, like, the novice actor will the Russian word's coming to me, like, показывать what they're doing. They'll show you. Like, they get up on stage and they think they have to do something to be interesting, do something to be watchable, do something to be compelling. You do not. You are in yourself. It's the same thing I see with headshots. That you want to show that there's something happening behind the eyes. If there's something innately happening behind the eyes, you don't have to show anything happening behind the eyes. But that comes from that deep inner knowing that you, the person, you, the artist, are enough. You are enough. We don't want to see a genius on stage. We just want to see you be free. We don't want to see a genius in life. We want to see you be free. It's not about being the genius. The genius is not your responsibility. The muse will come to you when you create the vessel, the freedom, the spaciousness, the awareness, the openness, the love in your vessel to receive that, because we put the walls down. But anyways, getting back to the Lecoq story, I am like going on all these avenues. It happens. I wish, like, I go back in time sometimes and meet these moments of myself when I'm in pain, or I'm contracted or completely shut down, and give myself the love I didn't have at that time. And I'm going to link the tab below, Heal Your Inner Critic, because it's so powerful, especially as artists, right? There's a healthy dose of being a critic, of saying, just objectively looking at versus like tearing yourself down. And I know that was like a form of my teacher's love, because like, the Russian method and Russian teachers, they will not only tear you down as an artist, but they will tear you down as a person. Like, I remember in ballet, like, getting slapped and kicked and pinched, and you're told you're worthless, you're told you're all these things, and they think of it as a way to build you up. And there's some merit to that, because the criticism is really important, but not to the point of breaking someone's spirit or creative heart, your art heart. No. Like my acting teacher here in Los Angeles says, art hearts. I don't want to break art hearts, because we're so sensitive and empathetic and in touch with like, we're like athletes of the human soul, right? Like, we don't lift weights, we lift emotions, we lift energy, we lift spiritual dimensions, we lift like imagination and fantasy and all these incredible things. But the self-love factor, it's everything. And if you find yourself right now not being able to say that, I want you to know that's perfectly normal and okay. Like I said, this has happened in one-on-one client scenarios. This has happened in group scenarios. Sometimes I have 5 people in a group. Sometimes I have up to 120 people in a group, and we're all in different spaces. But with tapping, we create that safety in the container, that external safety and that internal safety. And you're never pushed, like, you're in control the whole time. You go as far as you want to go or need to go or feel you can go. We're building a window of tolerance. We're finding our own threshold where we're like, yes, I'm going to move through a growth edge right now, versus this is deeply triggering and traumatic. I don't feel resourced enough. This is where I'm going to be today, and heal and love and unfold myself in this moment, and knowing that that's more than enough. Wherever you are right now is perfect and exactly where you need to be. There's no need to push or force or make something happen. All you need to do is love yourself, or love yourself, and make it welcome. Make it welcome. So I'm also going to link the video, how to use bridge statements to help you move through this. Like, the actual somatic process of tapping and breathing will already awaken this within you. It's going to move past, just like a lot of times when people do affirmations, they don't go past the conscious mind. They don't go past the analytical factor. They don't go past the brainstem. We need it to enter the body, because the body is the unconscious, and that's where real change happens. So if you find it challenging to say I love and accept myself exactly as I am right now, that's okay. That's perfectly okay and perfectly perfect. All we can do is just bring love to where you are right now. So when we use bridge statements in tapping, we're opening a gateway. We're opening a gateway where we were once closed. And love does this. Love automatically does this. Love melts resistance. Love melts fear. Love literally opens like the synapses and melts certain protein bonds in our brains to open the neural networks to refire and rewire what we actually want to be thinking, feeling, believing, experiencing. So saying, I am open to maybe loving and accepting myself. I choose to love and accept myself. It's possible one day I can love and accept myself. those kinds of phrases, and I'll link the video below. And so I'd love to meet you in the comments right now and share how this resonates with you. And if you don't know what to say, you can say, I am open to loving and accepting myself. And that in itself is a gift, signal, sign to the universe to say, I'm opening a whole new trajectory right now. I'm igniting an entirely new timeline where I am owning my power and worth and reverence and celebration and deservability and enoughness. And I'm celebrating and I'm celebrating the magic that is me, because you are magical. And again, no one is coming to do this work for us. And what if we could fall so deeply in love with ourselves, our artists? The birds are flying out of the bushes. It's so beautiful. Our unique path, that we wouldn't want to be anyone else but us. Is that not the goal? To love ourselves so deeply, so radically, so completely, so abundantly, that we're just so happy being ourselves. And it's a daily practice and process. And it's not about how many times you fall off the wagon. It's about getting back on. It's not about being calm all the time. It's about building resilience and fortitude in your nervous system to bounce back and to know the truth of who you are and to operate from that authentic space inside your being. So if you're new here, it would mean so much if you subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I have something so magical in the works right now for you in the new year to help you thrive into 2025. It's all about dropping the grind and getting aligned and co-creating your dreams from a space of nourishment, of love, of connection, of abundance, of that inner alignment and attunement to your highest visions, power, purpose, passion, pleasure, prosperity, play, and operating from that place and magnetizing from that place. And it's a group tapping experience. Well, it's beyond tapping it. I have a very special bonus that I created. That I opened myself to receive yesterday to share with you. And it's going to come out, it's going to come as a bonus to this experience, but a little piece will be available for our YouTube family. And the early bird ticks will be dropping next week. So keep an eye out for that. And if you really want to make sure you get the early, it'll be accessible regardless. But if you really want the early bird experience, you can always email impulse@actortoartist.com and I can send you the invitation explicitly, exuberantly, ecstatically, because it's going to be so fun. You'll get to keep the recording for life and do again and again and again. And it's so important, especially when we're doing these like New Year's, as I say, revolutions, that we're not just approaching it consciously. Like, this is why so many people fall off the bandwagon. They're like, oh, I want to be healthier. I want to eat better. I want to go to the gym, blah, 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 blah. But we're just doing it on the basis of the mental level. And that's where changes don't stick. We need to get into the subconscious. We need to get into the body. We need to get into the nervous system. And we do all of that and more with tapping. We meet our past pain, our inner child, our higher selves, our future selves. This method is so dynamic. It's so theatrical. I just love it so much. It's life-changing, career-changing, and it'll help us, most importantly, embed that self-love, self-respect, self-approval, self-appreciation on a cellular level in mind, body, nervous system, spirit, in every facet of our beings. And if you haven't yet grabbed my 45-minute guided EFT tapping session, do so right now and activate your highest visions. Whether you're an artist or not, it's made for you, anyone with a vision. And if you already have the tap, this is your call to do it again. We don't just go to the gym once. We don't just eat healthy once. This is a daily practice. And the more we do it, the more effortless it becomes. And if you're having resistance right now, that's okay. We're gonna love the resistance anyways. And that's how we transform it. And again, just always listening to the guidance and wisdom of your body, the subconscious, our intuition. It's a phone line to the divine. So listen to that sacred inner guidance. I'm so grateful to connect with you. And let's continue the conversation in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao. Mwah.